Sir, I plan on paying you back for the damages.
How you gonna do that? You don't even have a job.
Well, yes, I do. I'm a farmer.
Don't be calling yourself a farmer.
What is going on, guys? Recon Jack here, bringing you my Team 2 week build against Bill and the Adelaide Honchcrows. He's actually got a really scary team this week after his loss to Cap last week. He made a couple trades. He now is rocking the Mega Audino, Manaphy, Darmanitan, Zapdos, Haxorus, Alakazam, Zoroark, Hitmonlee, Registeel, Golurk, and Crustle. Now looking at his team, he has a lot of power, and a lot of that power actually outspeeds mine. So, well, not a lot, but Alakazam naturally outspeeds my Latios, it naturally outspeeds my Infernape, and it can deal pretty well with both of those, especially if it is Focus Sashed. His Darmanitan, I'm expecting it to be Choice Scarfed, which means that as you will see in my team build, it could put in a lot of work against my team. Manaphy is always a problem, especially if it gets a tail glow up, especially because it has 100 base speed, which means that it's outspeeding a lot of my mons naturally. Hitmonlee is kind of a threat to my team. I am expecting him to bring an Unburdened set. You will see how I will deal with that during this team build. I know it can be a problem, but it's not what I'm mainly worried about here. Anyways, let's hop into this. Starting with Latios, holding the Colbur Berry. It's rocking Dragon Pulse, Psyshock, Calm Mind, and Recover, with 252 EVs in both HP and speed with a timid nature. It's a kind of an odd EV spread, but I need to be able to take a hit from Darmanitan, I need to be able to take a hit from Alakazam, and I need to be able to take a hit from Mega Audino and from Manaphy. What is that noise? Do you guys hear that?
Lance Corporal Krause, you have duty, get down here.
Okay, that's the loudspeaker in my room. They've been calling this kid down there for duty for the past hour. It's really pissed me off. It actually woke me up. Sorry if I do sound kind of tired. I am recording this team build a little bit early in the morning. So I might be all over the place with my thoughts here. Anyways, kind of an odd EV spread, but I need to be able to ensure that I can live a hit. If I can set up some Calm Minds with this Latios, that would be ideal. The Dragon Pulse and Psyshock offers me pretty much complete coverage against this team, save for the Registeel. Of course, this is not really for the Registeel, but this is something that I could potentially Calm Mind on. Granted, he would be able to Thunder Wave me, but I doubt he'd try to do that if I still have Electivire and or Mamoswine around. Anyways, yeah, this set is really just to be able to come in if Darmanitan killed something or Alakazam killed something, I'd be able to take a hit and then revenge kill with Latios. Moving on to Mamoswine, rocking the Focus Sash this week with Earthquake, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, and Endeavor. This is probably the most customized EV spread here that you're seeing. All it does really is outspeed an uninvested Zapdos that has, I think, 12 EVs in speed, or 4. I don't quite remember. Just outspeeding a potential speed creeping Zapdos with obviously 252 in attack with an adamant nature, and then the rest thrown in HP and special attack, defense and special defense. This is my first of 2 Focus Sash Mons. I think this is going to be important because Manaphy would normally just straight up Oko Mamoswine. Darmanitan can straight up Oko Mamoswine. Alakazam can straight up Oko Mamoswine. Hitmonlee can straight up Oko Mamoswine. But with a Focus Sash, if I can come in without hazards on my side of the field, with my Sash intact, I can take a hit, endeavor all of those Mons, and then proceed to kill them with Ice Shard. So I think that this set will be very important in this match. Obviously, the Icicle Crash can hit Zapdos for a buck ton of damage. It can Earthquake Darmanitan. It can hit this set, deals with Haxorus easily enough. Zoroark plays its tricks, but hopefully I'll be able to get past that. This set deals with Golurk. It can handle Registeel, kind of. Ideally, I'd be able to endeavor the Registeel instead of trying to Earthquake it. We will see. Moving on to Umbreon, it's rocking the Chople Berry with Wish, Baton Pass, Heal Bell, Foul Play. The only difference in this set, it should be shiny. The only difference in this set from last week is that it is physically defensive, and instead of Protect, it is rocking Baton Pass. I figured it'd be important to be able to get that slow initiative, because I know Bill likes to switch around a lot. It's also max defense, because I'm really worried about that Darmanitan. This thing can also take a hit from Hitmonlee. I doubt he will bring high jump kick, because he knows that Umbreon versus Hitmonlee is probably a likely matchup, and he knows I'll most likely rock the Protect. So I'm assuming that he'll bring the close combat, and foul playing into a -1 Hitmonlee does a solid amount of damage. So yeah, this set can handle the Darm, it can handle the Hitmonlee, and it can deal a butt ton of damage back to them in foul play. Next up is Infernape, my second Focus Sash Mon with Blaze as its ability this week. Rocking Stealth Rock, Flamethrower, Vacuum Wave, and Nasty Plot with 252 EVs and both special attack and speed with a timid nature. I don't expect to be setting up Stealth Rocks with Infernape, but this is really the only spot that I could find on the team for hazards this week, and I figured if I had the opportunity, I might be able to set them up. Who knows? I don't really need any other attacking moves besides Flamethrower and Vacuum Wave, and he has the Nasty Plot. Now, I think I'm gonna have to make some plays with the Infernape. Doesn't really deal with Manaphy. If I can get some Nasty Plots up prior to Manaphy coming in, Vacuum Wave might be able to do a little bit of work. If something knocks me down to Sash or within 25%, Blaze will activate, and a Nasty Plot with Blaze, with Flamethrower, hits his entire team incredibly hard. So that's kind of what I'm banking on here. Nothing wants to take a +1 Blaze Flamethrower. End state, done, period. My next Mon is Blastoise with Scald, Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, and Rapid Spin. Same EV spread as last week. The only difference here is that I have the Aura Sphere over the Ice Beam. Zapdos obviously is an issue for this Mon, especially defensive Zapdos. I don't want to stay in on a Zapdos, which is why I don't have Ice Beam. Yes, I lose a little bit of offensive presence against his Haxorus, but I make up for it with Aura Sphere for Registeel. And Registeel is a fat mon. It's hard to get rid of. So that's why I needed Aura Sphere on Blastoise this week. Dark Pulse obviously is for things like the Alakazam, the Golurk. Yes, Scald hits both of those incredibly hard. Alakazam, it's not super effective against, but Alakazam, as we all know, is incredibly frail. So Scald would still do a lot of damage. It's obviously super effective against Golurk, but Dark Pulse just gives me more coverage against his team than Ice Beam does. And Rapid Spin, I know that Bill loves his hazards. He has a Registeel that can set up rocks. He has a Crustle that can set up spikes. So I really think he's going to bring Hazard Stack against me. So I got that Rapid Spin on there just for that. And last but not least, we will wrap it up with Electivire, holding the Salic Berry with Motor Drive. He's rocking Wild Charge, Power Up Punch, Ice Punch, and Magnet Rise with 252 EVs in both attack and speed with the Jolly Nature. Kind of weird set here. I really wanted to run a Choice Scarf set, but I lost a lot of presence being locked into only one move with this Mon. So I figured I'd try, just for fun, a Salic Berry set, which if my health is at 25% or less, it raises my speed by 1 stage. It's kind of fun. I don't know if it'll work out, but I'm hoping it does. Like, I'm hoping Registeel Earthquakes me, knocks me down pretty low, and then my Salic Berry activates, and on the next turn I'll Magnet Rise while he tries to Earthquake again. I'm bringing Power Up Punch. If Zoroark has been revealed, that's something that I definitely want to Power Up Punch on. Also, I want to Power Up Punch on the Registeel. Wild Charge hits mostly everything on his team for at least neutral damage. And with a Power Up Punch up, it's going to be doing a lot of damage. Ice Punch, obviously, that's going to be hitting the Zapdos. It's going to be hitting the Golurk, which the Golurk is immune to the Wild Charge and Power Up Punch, so I needed something on there to hit Golurk with. Motor Drive is just for Zapdos, so it can't spam Thunderbolts on me if Mamoswine goes down. What else do we need to talk about his team? I don't know. I just feel like he's going to bring some weird sets against me. Maybe not, since it's week 2 and he already lost 6-0 last week. He might just bring some standard sets that he knows and that he trusts. But Bill is a creative player, and I'm actually pretty worried about this matchup here. But we're going to go into it. I think I prepped as best as I can. I will see you guys at the battle.
Alright guys, Bill and I just battled. Unfortunately, my live audio fucked up sometime during this match, so unfortunately this is going to be a post-com video again. I'm really trying to get live commentary out to you guys. I feel like that's way more fun, just to see like my thought process in the moment, but I'll work on that for my next week's match. Until then, just kind of bear with me with this post-com. Hopefully I'll be able to enlighten you guys as to why I chose to do what I did. So anyways, looking at Bill's lineup, we see the Crustle, Registeel, Mega Audino, I'm assuming it's Mega, Manaphy, Hitmonlee, and Darmanitan. Really surprised that I don't see Alakazam there. Was expecting that to be putting in a lot of work. I thought he'd bring the Zoroark. I kind of thought he'd bring the Zoroark. I knew that it just naturally outsped most of my team, and it did a lot of work against Latios. He potentially didn't bring it because he might have thought that I wouldn't bring Latios because I knew he had Zoroark, just kind of those mind games. But I do have the Chople Berry on my Latios to kind of deal with like a Dark Pulse or a Sucker Punch from the Zoroark. So anyways, doesn't have the Zapdos either, so my speed creeping Mamoswine was kind of unnecessary. I guess it makes sense that he didn't bring it though, seeing as I do have a Motor Drive, Electivire, and an immunity to Electric in Mamoswine. Oh my god, here we go again. What is this? Just give me a second, guys. They're gonna come on the loudspeaker again. Any day now. I'll just continue until they do. Okay, so potential leads that I see here are obviously a Choice Scarf Darmanitan can either U-turn out versus an unfavorable matchup, or it could just try to smack me with something like a Flare Blitz. His Crustle could come in and try to set up spikes. His Registeel could come in and try to set up Stealth Rock. So we're going to just hop into this battle right now. I'm going to lead off with my Blastoise, which I knew would be a great lead against his Crustle, against his Registeel, and against his Darmanitan. He does decide to...
Alpha Company, I need one Marine to fill in for Lance Corporal duty. Please report. Office.
Alright, well hopefully those interruptions are out of the way now. He does decide to lead off with his Crustle. I'm assuming he's going to just try to either Hazard Stack against me here or switch out. I just decided to go for the safe Scald. Nothing on his team wants to get burned. I know he has the Dino, which probably has Heal Bell, but I figured this was just my safest bet. Kind of just to scout, see what he would do. Hopefully get the burn on something and get my Mega off at the same time for that extra bulk. So I'm going to Mega Evolve here and go for the Scald, as he actually goes for the Shell Smash, which I was not expecting on turn 1 of the game. Then he goes for Rock Wrecker. I didn't even know that was a move. I had to look it up during the match, and I found out that it was like he has to recharge afterwards. But he just obliterates my my Blastoise, which isn't the biggest problem, but Blastoise would have been nice to have around for the Registeel. It would have been nice to have around for the Darmanitan. It could have bulked a hit from the Hitmonlee as well. So, although it's not the end of the world that I lost Blastoise turn 2, it does kind of put a dent in my plans. Would have been really nice to get the burn on Crustle and for it to drop turn 1 after Shell Smashing. I really wanted that to happen after I saw him Shell Smash, but unfortunately this is just kind of how things work out. So I'm just going to bring in my Mamoswine and pick this thing off. I know he's got to stay in to recharge, so don't really want to reveal my moveset at the time. I figured he'd know that I had Ice Shard, so that's what I went for. Here, I knew he'd go into Manaphy. It's probably the best response to seeing Mamoswine on my side of the field at this time. He figured I would switch. I knew he figured I'd switch out and he'd be able to get a Tail Glow up here. And because of that, I'm just going to go for an Earthquake, knock this thing down to 50%. I see that it has the leftovers. I'm just going to go for the Earthquake again here, expecting him to either Scald or Surf or something along those lines. He actually goes for the Protect, which I found very interesting, and I knew I'd be able to play around this Protect once I saw that he had it. My plan here was just to Earthquake it down to a decent amount of damage and then be able to come in with like my Latios and Revenge Kill. But now that he has Protect, I know that I can Endeavor this Mon, and that's exactly what I'm going to do right here. So he's going to go for the Surf, knock me down to 1%, and I'm going to go for that nice Endeavor, bring him down to 1%, and now I'm switching out. I don't want to risk losing my Mamoswine here because it's at a health that I would love to get Registeel down to, and or his Mega Audino.
So I'm going to bring my Infernape here. I know that I have this Sash as well on this Pokemon, so I know that I can live a Surf if he chooses to go for it, and then I can Revenge Kill with a Vacuum Wave. But I think that he is going to Protect this turn. I know that Bill is trying to play it safe here, especially because he's rocking the Protect. Why not use it to scout what my Infernape is going to do? So I'm going to take this time, play a little risky, and go for the Nasty Plot here. And it pays dividends. I get the Nasty Plot off on his Protect, and now I can Vacuum Wave this thing to death. And now whatever comes in is going to be taking a butt ton of damage. Darm actually does come in. I'm expecting it to be Scarfed. I am max speed, so we're going to see here. I hit him with a Vacuum Wave. Actually, we're not going to see here if he's Scarfed or not. I do over 50% with Vacuum Wave as he Flare Blitzes me to, I think it does around 70% damage, which is unfortunate because it doesn't knock me quite into Blaze range. I was really hoping he'd go for something like the Earthquake, knock me down to Sash, so I'd be in Blaze range. But he does go down this turn. He is Life Orb. Oh no, he's not Life Orb. That's Recoil from the Flare Blitz. He does go down next turn to a Vacuum Wave. Kind of don't understand this play here. I expected him to go, well, actually, okay. So, in the moment, I thought he'd go into Hitmonlee here and just press Fake Out. But if he did that, he'd have less of a chance of sweeping with it later because it wouldn't have its own Burden Boost. So, like, in post-com, I can understand why he went into Mega Audino now. He's just trying to, like, whittle my team down as much as he can before bringing Hitmonlee in so that it has the best chance to sweep. Anyways, he Mega Evolves and I go for the Flamethrower. If Darmanitan had brought me down to Blaze range, this would have straight up killed Mega Audino, which would have been amazing to see because this is a fat mon. But it still does 80% with that Nasty Plot up, which is huge because Mega Audino is just annoying to deal with. It's gonna hit me with a Dazzling Gleam, knock me out. That's okay. I'm bringing in my Electivire here, and I'm going for the Wild Charge. I get a crit. It doesn't matter at all. He brings in his Registeel. Here, I was really hoping that I'd be able to get my Salic Berry off. I lied, actually. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I knew he'd want to go for the Stealth Rock because Mamoswine is at 1%, and this would be his only opportunity to get Stealth Rocks up, which would kill Mamoswine before it could come in again. So I'm actually surprised that he didn't predict me to switch in my Mamoswine. I'm pretty sure it was a thought in his head prior to clicking Stealth Rocks, but he knew that he needed to get these up. But I took advantage of this. I brought in my Mamoswine, and I am able to get the Endeavor off on this Registeel, which is probably the biggest play in the game. Well, it's not. The game is definitely not over yet. I want to say that it's definitely not over yet. Endeavoring Manaphy was also really big, but Registeel can be an issue because it's just incredibly bulky, and bringing it down to 1% with one hit straight from 100 is insane. So this was my favorite play of the match right here. He does take me down with an Ice Punch. I think that's a incredible trade on my end. Now I can bring in my Electivire, and here I'm going to go for the Power Up Punch as he protects. I don't know why he was rocking Protect on 2 Mons, especially on Manaphy, because it does lose a lot of coverage with Tail Glow if it's rocking Protect. I can kind of see it on Registeel, although I don't really know why he brought Protect, to be honest. There's just moves that I'd assume that he'd rather have
But I guess scouting can be beneficial at times. I don't get my power-up punch off here, unfortunately. He does try to double protect as I just straight up go for the wild charge. I don't even care at this point for the power-up punch because I know that I'm not going to get this Salic boost, and I know that this Hitmonlee is going to come in, it's going to fake out, and then it's just going to outspeed me even with the Salic Berry +1 speed boost. So here he is going to go for the fake out. He gets a crit. It doesn't really matter because he can just he'd just be able to take me out on the next turn anyway, even without the crit. So he goes for the knockoff, sees that I have Salic Berry. Not a big deal. I come into Umbreon knowing that I can take a fighting type move. He actually does have close combat like I predicted in the team build. So now he's at -1 defense, -1 special defense. I know I've got this game wrapped up at this point in time. There's nothing that he can really do against my Latios because I still have my Chop Berry. Thank God he didn't bring Zoroark. I foul play. It does 81% damage, which is huge. He close combats me again. I feel like he just kind of gave up at this point, or he was hoping that his knockoff would like crit me or something. Not really sure why he went for the close combat there. Maybe that was the only move he had to hit me with. Anyways, he goes for the knockoff. I eat a Colbur Berry, and it still does 39% damage, which is pretty big because I'm max HP with a Chople Berry. So if I hadn't been max HP, if I hadn't had Chople Berry, that might have actually killed me. Fortunately, that's not the case, and I am able to revenge kill my Umbreon with a nice Slice Shock, ending the match in a close 1-0 victory. This is the first match I think I've had with Bill officially that Hacks didn't really have any play or any role to play in the outcome of the game. So seeing that it was a 1-0, like such a close game, just proves to me that we are very close in I believe that we are very close in ability and skill level in this game, and he is definitely somebody that I need to watch out for. Really surprised that he didn't bring Hazard, Stacking Crustle, and instead decided to Shell Smash turn 1. I don't know if that was his plan all along. I don't know if that was his dedicated lead or not. Very interesting set. I mean, it killed my Mega Blastoise in one hit, which was pretty cool to see because Mega Blastoise is fat. Unfortunately for Bill, that's his second loss of the season, and we've only had 2 games so far. I know he'll be able to pick it back up though. He did have quite a long winning streak last season, so I'm sure that he'll be able to recover from this. Just don't let it get in your head, man. Keep on playing. You went from a 6-0 first week to a narrow 1-0 loss this week, so if that says anything, that means you're on the up and up now. So should be interesting to see your week 3 match. Good luck to you, man, and good luck to everybody else in their week 2 matches. For now, this is Recon Jack signing off.